What's up, my dudes? We're working on a Mercury Mountaineer. We got a muffler that's blown out here. The rest of the exhaust looks really clean, but around the muffler looks kind of bad. We got some blown out holes here, but mostly it is split down the side there. Here's our replacement muffler right here. I went with a direct replacement, and none of them come with this intermediate pipe here. They should. I mean, it's like right there next to the muffler. You know, 'cause that joint, that gasket doesn't look too good. If I try to saws all of this off, the vibrations might spring a leak here. But instead of springing for the pipe and the gasket and the hardware, I'm just gonna go for it, replace the muffler. Everything else looks good on this vehicle except for that. I might recommend that you change that. And you can see, for some reason, this direct replacement muffler doesn't come with hangers. So I'm gonna have to weld a little hanger onto this muffler right here. But I'm gonna bust my Sawzall out. You can use an angle grinder, torch, whatever, and cut it as close to this bead as possible. You don't want to cut on this bead because it's really tough to cut through, but like right past it on both sides. You can see they don't give us very much on the muffler. Now, I'm using a hoist, makes it easier. I got another hoist stand. I'm gonna put that under the muffler to kind of cushion any vibrations from the Sawzall, just make my cutting a little bit easier. All right, we got our cut. Cut a little more off on this side. It's a little straighter. The bend starts like right away on this one. I got it real close to that weld. Make sure you got a sharp blade on your Sawzall. Mine's a little dull. Didn't take very long, 5 minutes. But there we go, muffler's just being held up by that one hanger. We'll get that off. What I like to do to those hangers is spray them with some PB Blaster inside the rubber bushing because they get real dry and tight. So I like to squirt some PB Blaster up in there. You can see it's got like a big nipple on it. And then I take a long pry bar, you know, sort of like this, and pry it out of there. Use like the frame for leverage. Hey yo, got that muffler off. It did not want to come out of here. I think there's too much rust buildup, but it came out of here really easily. So this went right here. I took my angle grinder, just kind of cut it off. I'm going to reuse it. I'm going to take this to my wire wheel on my bench grinder, clean it up. I'm going to reuse it. I'm going to weld it to the other muffler. But before I weld this to the other muffler, I'm going to get that muffler set in. You can see we got a big old gap here. That's where our muffler is going to go. I'm going to dry fit it first. All right, we got our muffler dry fitted on there. I took my wire wheel to knock some of this rust off because it was really tight. Over on this end, I couldn't really get the muffler over it, but after I wire wheeled it, I did. We don't have enough room to clamp. This muffler needs to be longer if you want to use clamps. See, we got some exhaust clamps here. But it's only sitting in, even though I cut it off pretty much at the end of the muffler where I could, there's not enough room to shove the pipes together to use clamps, so we're gonna weld. If you wanna use clamps, you're gonna need some sort of pipe to extend to go over the two. You'd probably get a little more room if you bought one of these pipes. A little more length so you can use clamps. But you either are gonna have to weld with this direct fit muffler or add about that much pipe. Let's get to welding. All right, we got our muffler welded on there. It's a little tricky on the back. You might wanna try welding the back first and then connecting the front pipe, but I think she'll do. And now we got our hanger plugged back in, and I'm holding it into place with a little magnet. I'm just gonna put a little tack there and there, take my magnet off, and then weld it a little better. All right, she's all done. Quiet again. I double checked for leaks. There was one spot at the top, very top, that I couldn't see. Had a little leak. I ran it up in the air, could feel the air coming out a little bit. So I went over that with a line blind and got it sealed up. And there we go. I think if you replace that intermediate pipe, get a new gasket and hardware, you might have enough length just to clamp everything if you want, all the way down from that catalytic converter. Have a good one.